Rob Sheppard, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Paul. Glad to be here with you. For me, two things were always really important growing up and all the way through college, and that was things related to nature and things related to photography. Photography was fascinating to me. I mean, I grew up in the era of Life magazine, and that was an inspiration. But I also was inspired by Ansel Adams and Elliot Porter. And when I went to college, I flipped back and forth. For the first 2 years in college, I went through 7 different majors because I felt I should have a major.
In the first 2 years, you said? Not
Yeah,
4.
it's
Okay.
7 majors, and they were all related to either something nature or biological or something communications. First out of college, I worked as a naturalist, as a environmental educator, and I was still doing a lot of photography. And then I got a job with the Minnesota Department of Transportation as a photojournalist.
Wow.
That was the first time that I started to say, hey, I'm a photographer. Photography for me is a way of focusing. I feel really strongly that photography is something more than just a superficial capturing and collecting of images, collecting of subjects or whatever. Is that, to me, I think that the best photography comes, and I mean the best photography not just in terms of the photographs, but also in terms of me as an individual, comes from my connection to the subject. And I want to honor and respect that subject. For me, I want people looking at my images to engage with the subject as well. I once had a woman come up to me, and this was great because she said, I don't like spiders and other kinds of bugs, but when I see your pictures, I think they're okay. I mean, that was
highest form of flattery.
That was cool. That meant a lot to me.
Well, do you have some specific stories of times when you've been in the field with a camera in which you stopped and you just said, wow, I'm really alive in this moment?
Truthfully, that's almost every time. I can't
Really?
think of it not. Yeah, I mean, that's, to me, that's why I'm out there. That's why I'm doing stuff. And it doesn't even have to be far away. I mean, I have a native plants garden. There's one plant, for example, that's a San Diego sunflower. It's actually not big sunflower. They're very small blossoms. But that thing, for whatever reason, attracts all kinds of insects. And I can sit there for hours and photograph and just watch. I'm in awe. And the hummingbird came in with this whole bill of spider webs, and it caught me off guard, and I didn't get the picture, but I saw it, and it was so cool to see that. And to me, that was just a privilege and uplifting, even if I didn't get the picture. It was so cool to actually see that. That was fun. These little critters are a part of our world that are so important. Spiders, for example. Spiders are the most common predator in the world, period. Well, that fly was as big as this jumping spider, and it caught it. It was hanging on. I mean, that was like a lion tackling a wildebeest or something. It's just incredible. And there's all of this all around us. That's an important part of our world, and that's something that I love to explore and I love to share.
What is connection to you exactly?
Many, many, many years ago, we lived closer to nature than we do today. But just because that's in the past doesn't mean it's not still important to us. And they talk about nature as something separate from man, and I don't think it is. I mean, we are part of nature. We are, and I think it's important to acknowledge that connection and to say, hey, we're part of this world. If we are feeling disconnected from nature, it's a lot easier to screw around with it and to dump poisons in it and to drain swamps and things like that because we're not connected. It's not important. And I think that photography is one way that helps all of us become connected. My favorite place is the place where I'm at. And I know that sounds really weird, but in a way, but it is true, is because I love exploring any place where I'm at. And I've been known over the years as if I travel to, let's say I'm traveling in New York City. Well, there's not a lot of nature in New York City except for Central Park.
Mm.
So I will make an effort and get out into Central Park. And when I'm there, that's my favorite place. And Central
Wow.
Park is actually a place I love.
They're 20 years old or they're 70, but they're just getting started on this journey. What are some tried and true, just good insights that you would share with them?
Well, I think one of the most important things that any photographer today can do who is learning is to learn your craft and stay with your subject
Mm.
and then shoot lots and lots and lots of pictures. I think you learn and get better as a photographer by shooting a lot of pictures.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the show. You're not only a great thinker and blogger, read many of your blogs, but also a great instructor and great teacher. So really appreciate your time here on the show.
You bet. Thank you, Paul.